Every good husband believes he understands his wife, but there are quiet truths inside her that rarely reach her lips. Truths she carries not because she wants to hide anything from you, but because she's afraid you'll take her pain the wrong way, or think she's being dramatic when all she wants is to feel understood. She doesn't expect perfection from you. She doesn't need you to turn into a flawless man who never makes mistakes. What she longs for is presence. The kind of presence where you put aside the weight of the world for a moment, meet her eyes with softness, and remind her that she still matters in the middle of your busy life. She pays attention to the details of your day, your moods, the tone of your voice, the small promises you make, not to criticize you, but because she loves deeply, and loving deeply means noticing things you might overlook. She remembers the little moments you forget, when you said you'd be home early, when you said you'd help her with something, when you said you'd talk later, and not because she wants to keep score, but because those moments are emotional markers to her, reminders of whether you truly see her or not. When she gets upset, it's rarely because of the thing happening in the moment. Most of the time, her frustration is hurt wearing a louder mask. She reacts that way not because she wants to fight, but because she wants connection. And when she feels unheard or brushed off, her emotions explode in ways she wishes they didn't. A good husband who pauses, listens, and asks her what she's really feeling, instead of defending himself, instantly rewrites the entire tone of the moment. She is strong, stronger than even she admits. She handles responsibilities, emotions, tasks, and expectations all at once, often carrying an invisible load that no one else sees. But being strong doesn't mean she isn't exhausted. Being capable doesn't mean she doesn't wish someone would step in, hold her for a moment, and tell her she doesn't have to do everything alone. She stays silent about her tiredness because she doesn't want you to think she's failing, because she doesn't want to burden you, because she doesn't want to be seen as weak, but deep inside, there are days when she wishes you would notice without her asking. She loves you in quiet ways that you never witness. When she prays for your safety, when she worries about your stress, when she adjusts the home just to make you comfortable, when she makes small decisions with your happiness in mind. Much of her love is invisible, but it is powerful, and she hopes you feel it even when she isn't expressing it in obvious ways. Emotional security matters to her even more than financial stability. Yes, she appreciates a stable home, but what she truly needs is to feel safe expressing herself without being judged, safe showing emotions without being dismissed, safe disagreeing without fearing she'll trigger anger or distance. Emotional safety is the foundation where her love grows, where her warmth expands, where her loyalty becomes unshakable. After marriage, she still wants to feel chosen. She wants to feel like the woman you would pick all over again, not just the person you ended up with. She wants to feel prioritized, even in small ways, when you choose her over distractions, when you make time for her even when you're tired, when you speak to her with the same tenderness you used to win her heart. She doesn't need constant romance. She just needs consistent effort, the kind that reminds her she still holds a special place in your heart. She doesn't always want solutions to her problems. Sometimes she wants someone to sit with her feelings. When she shares her worries, she's not asking you to fix anything, she's asking you to understand. She wants empathy, not engineering. She wants you to say, "I'm here, I get it, I'm listening," not, "Here's what you should do." Men solve, women feel. This difference isn't a flaw, it's a design. And once a husband realizes that her emotions are invitations to connect, not challenges to defeat, their bond transforms. She loves intensely, and with that intensity comes the fear of losing you. She won't say it, but she worries you'll one day get tired of her, that someone else might catch her attention, or that she isn't enough in some way. She hides these insecurities because she doesn't want to seem needy or emotional, but they exist quietly within her heart. Your reassurance, small, consistent, genuine, means more to her than you imagine. When you appreciate her, when you compliment her effort, when you recognize her strength, she blooms emotionally. She doesn't want grand poetic speeches. She wants real acknowledgement. She wants you to notice when she's trying, when she's overwhelmed, when she's giving more than she has, when she's putting your needs above her own without asking for anything back. At the core of her heart, she just wants equal love. Love that matches her effort, that mirrors her care, that feels balanced and mutual. She doesn't expect a perfect husband. She expects a present one. She wants a partner who listens, who cares, who shows up with small acts of affection, who understands that love isn't built in big moments, but in everyday softness. She wants a teammate, not a judge, a companion, not a critic, a safe space, not a battlefield. She wants a relationship where both of you communicate openly, where arguments turn into understanding instead of resentment, where silent battles become shared conversations. Your wife wants to feel like she matters not just as someone who lives in your house, but as someone whose soul is connected to yours. Your presence is her comfort. Your attention is her reassurance. Your understanding is her peace. She doesn't want you to change who you are. She just wants to feel like she still has a place in your world. She wants to feel like the woman you loved at the start, and she wants to know that you still choose her now. And the truth is, if you're listening to this message, if you're taking this moment to understand her heart, then you already are a good husband. This message isn't meant to point out your flaws, it's meant to remind you of the emotional world she carries quietly. It's a world of love, fear, hope, responsibility, strength, and vulnerability all mixed together. A world that becomes safer, warmer, and more alive when she feels emotionally held by you. Your wife doesn't expect perfection, she expects presence. She doesn't want everything, she wants effort. She doesn't need grand gestures, she needs genuine love. And the beautiful thing is, you're capable of giving it. Because the very fact that you're listening to this message proves that you care. And care is the seed from which the greatest marriages grow. A good husband is not one who always gets everything right. A good husband is one who learns, listens, and loves with intention. And that's exactly what you're doing right now.